chosen ones, empaths, you will never be the same again. After the narcissistic relationship, you will never be the same again. And I'm not saying it's going to be continuous tears, and I'm not saying it's going to be continuous feeling low and you need to get back to yourself feeling like you can't be the same again. I'm telling you it's not that, and I want you to embrace it. The pain that you are enduring at this moment in time is the defining factor for you to build a better life. With all this pain that you're feeling, I promise you, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not a train. Yeah, I'm telling you. You just need to keep walking towards your healing. Keep embracing your healing. This is a spiritual awakening that you are going through. You have come to the realization that there is bad in the world. We used to walk around and we thought everyone thought like us. We did not realize that these types of creatures exist. It's why we couldn't understand the abuse when it was happening. It's why sometimes this went on for decades in some people's circumstances. We didn't realize the abuse till after, and this is the trigger of the spiritual awakening. This is why you have to count your blessings for this taking place, because it is a blessing that this has taken place. I know you're suffering. I know you're hurting. I know you think that they've moved on, but this is what I'm saying. If you embrace what I'm saying to you about they don't think like us. So in this circumstance, when they're painting their picture like they're happy, they don't need you, they've moved on, it's all a lie. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It will take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. I'm not saying that the love was a lie, that they didn't love you and they just... I'm telling you that they don't know how to love. Okay? So you need to get past that. They don't know how to love. So no longer can you be trauma bonded to these individuals who don't know how to love. They don't know what love is. They pretend to know what love is. So you need to move away from feeling the pain, and you need to take it in your stride. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it is something to aim towards. Practice self-love. Know your value. You've been devalued. Some people have been devalued longer than decades. You know, as I said, decades, plural, more than 10 years. Some people have been devalued for such a long period of time. It's why when we come to the end of it, we don't know who we are. We've lost who we are in these relationships. So the answer is not rushing back out there. You need to embrace this spiritual awakening. You need to carry on spiritually evolving, because you are. You've recognized the bad now. We didn't recognize the bad. The universe and God has got a funny way of displaying things to us and teaching us through our life. This is a lesson. It's teaching, and it's not just like we're just going through a lesson and that's it. The narcissist is suffering out there without you. You are very rare. There's not a lot of people that love wholeheartedly, that have an authenticity like you do. Everything that you're valuable about, the narcissist devalued you, they gaslit you, they made you not know your worth. So you've come out the other side and you don't realize how much of like a blessing and a star you are. You have a star. You have a light. You have an immense aura. Yeah, like immense aura in a good way. Your aura glows. I know now you're surrounded with darkness, but that's because they left you with darkness. They left you with the rubbish to make you feel like that. So we have to transform this darkness into light. And this is what this spiritual journey is all about. We've just been triggered. The trigger was the ending of the relationship. When we awakened to them being a narcissist. You know, So we're learning about it. We're spiritually evolving. We're now seeing narcissists everywhere we go, right? In the workplace, in our families, or other toxic individuals. That is our discernment. That is God. That is the discernment that we've now enhanced through our lesson. It is our protection. You know, the reason why you've been chosen amongst the masses to have high levels of authenticity, to have high levels of empathy. You've been chosen to have that. It is a superpower. You know, you do good for mankind. You do good for your fellow man or lady, but you know what I mean. You do good for them. We're not perfect, and we know that. We're not an angel. We don't follow God because we have to follow God. Like an angel was created to follow God, and they're made that way. We're not like that. We're not perfect. We have imperfections. We're still a work in progress, but it's better for us to be following God and doing good because we want to do good than because we have to. And that's why we can become to a high angelic earth angel level. You see what I'm saying? And this is the journey we're going on. So we need to transmute this energy, this negative energy. And what I mean by transmute is we need to use it as the fuel to put into other areas in our life, our purpose, our work, our children, etc., etc., etc. Whatever it might be, we need to put this in there. So secretly, the narcissist can't create supply. They can't create energy. They can't create fuel. But they've actually left us with the fuel. Now, this is a key moment. They've left us with the fuel for us to be able to spiritually evolve. This darkness that I'm talking about is the fuel that we will burn up and destroy and get rid of and transform it and transmute that energy into another form, and brighten up our lives. And blessings we will reap in abundance. It will come to us in abundance. Yeah? I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it happens overnight, but be patient. Enjoy your alone time. The reason why you're being taught to be alone is so you break the trauma bond, you break the codependency. God is shaping you. It's not always comfortable when you're contorting and maneuvering a shape to how you want it to be. You know, it's like if you're squeezing something, you're squeezing your luggage in the suitcase, you might push this side of the clothing down. You might, push down on the case to pull the zip round. Like, this is what's happening with us. We're being shaped, right? To be better. And you will get there. Sometimes some of us heal quicker than others. I'll be honest with you now, yeah? I healed to the point where I had the realization that I didn't want them back in my life. But because of the circumstances I went through and the smear campaign, etc., it left left me with a bit of a negative spirit. And I went through spiritual awakenings afterwards. So it's not just one spiritual awakening you go through. I went through few spiritual awakenings after I took my time before I actually come on YouTube. I never had the thought in mind to come on YouTube. It just happened one day. But there's other areas that I've pursued in life, like my work and things like this. And I used it as my momentum. I didn't realize I was doing it, but it was my momentum behind what I was doing in my journey. And I wouldn't be this person who I am now. I'm a stronger person now. I'm more resilient. I'm a better person now than I ever was. And I don't know how far you are in your journey, but I promise you, you will become a better person than you ever was. You don't need the narcissist. You don't need them. These individuals have gone around now with other people. They've slept with other people. We cannot risk letting these people back into our lives. Just for the pure fact, if you want to get to the basics of it, they can be carrying certain sexual transmitted diseases. They're carrying dark energy. They have a dark soul. They're carrying all of this. So we can't afford to let them back in the door. We can't afford to let them back in. Do you see what I mean? We can't afford to do that. So we have to door slam them. It's crucial. But when the narcissistic relationship is over, this is the birth of your awakening. You know, as I said, you will never be the same again. Just embrace it. Your authenticity you'll become more authentic. You had high levels of authenticity when you was with the narcissist, but you will become more authentic. You can now decipher the good and the bad because you know the bad now. You see the toxic individuals around you, you know. You change forever. You actually change forever, right? And you become cold. That's something I haven't touched on. You become cold to those that have bad intent. You're able to discern these dangerous spirits, and you become cold, and you'll start to naturally do the grey rock method to these individuals. It will stand out like a sore thumb. You'll be like, you'll just see certain behaviors from them, and you'll be like, yo, that's disturbed my spirit. Like, and you want to get away. You know, you might not even retaliate. You just want to get away from them. So it's good. And through this journey, right, we become closer to God. God should be the main thing in our life, or the universe, before we put the narcissist there. So we grow closer to God. And that's another reason why this happens. Because God saw us giving our love into an individual that is an empty vessel. And they were just soaking up the supply. And God knows we can do better. We can do better practically in a future relationship. No matter how old you are, you can do better for yourself, for your career, for your finances. Everything can happen from this opportunity. And this is the spiritual evolution. It's a blessing in disguise that we've encountered the narcissist. We can reap blessings in abundance from this point forward. That's what you have to understand. We can reap blessings in abundance if we get the mind frame right? And we look at this as an opportunity to prove to ourselves that we can heal. We do not need a person. We need to turn cold. We need to be like, we don't need a person to function and survive in life. We don't, and we certainly don't need the narcissist. I'm not telling you not to go out there and date again. I'm not telling you that at all. But I've took a significant period out and I've seen the benefits. When I meet someone who's worthy of it, it's made me not be like how I used to be when I was a teenager, or in my 20s, how I even went with the narcissist, how I even got with the narcissist. I wouldn't get in a situation like that now. It just wouldn't happen. And plus the opportunity of that situation won't even arise because I'm so different now and I'm pursuing other means in my life. So I won't be in that situation to get tied into a relationship like I did with the narcissist in the first place. And that's because now I love my alone time. So seriously, unless someone is worthy of my time and my energy, they're not coming in my circle. They're not coming. And when I mean circle, I don't mean friends and family. I mean my own spiritual circle. They're not coming in my vicinity. They're not coming around me because I haven't got time for it. I really don't have time for it. You know, even certain friends, I've realized that some of them are a time waste. I wasted time with them over the years. I've woken up quicker in some ways, and some ways I haven't, but I've woken up at a quicker rate than I thought I would. Like, as much as I didn't become myself again for a long time, I started to wake up to negative behavior, and this was all the spiritual awakening. I started to wake up to people's behavior, right? The more that you get authentic, the more truthful you are, the more authentic you are. You have a light, so people are disturbed by your energy. People are disturbed, future people you meet, friends. They see you change so much. They think, wow, why? How has he changed so much? They just can't put their finger on it. But it's because we've had this deciding factor that we've encountered the devil. We have encountered the devil's bitch. People in the comment section liked when I said that, but it's true. They are the devil's bitch. And we've encountered the devil's bitch, right? And it was nothing but evil. They're getting whooped by the devil now. They're getting whooped by the devil now, because for all of us that is, you know, we're moving forward. We haven't resorted to the worst thing and took our lives like a lot of victims do. Narcissistic abuse victims do take their own life. They don't realize what's happening. Some of them end up in mental institutions. Some of them end up in prison. I'm not saying all people in prison, mental institutions are actually narcissistic abuse survivors. I'm just saying that a lot of people do end up in these vicinities. A lot of people who are narcissistic abuse survivors, narcissistic abuse victims, end up taking their own lives. So they're getting whooped now. The narcissist is getting whooped now by the devil, because we've actually healed. All of us have healed to some degree. You're here now building knowledge. Some of us are further along on our journey than others, but we're all here collectively to help one another. I learn from the comment section. I read all the comments. People say things, I learn from it. So you will hear me say things that I've learned too in my videos, because it's very truthful stuff. A lot of you have got your mindset screwed on. I can tell in the comment section, right? I can tell how some of you are writing things. Some of us are further along in our healing journey. I can tell that. Some of us aren't. But we're all going to get there, and we all teach one another. It's a community, and we're all teaching one another and helping each other. And that's what we do as empaths and chosen ones. And we're all heading towards that bright light at the end of the tunnel. And it's not death. It's not a train. We're getting out of this darkness, and we're transforming it. When we get out the other side, we transform it forever. Yeah? We're all still going down that journey now. But just transform it. That's what you can do. It's your gift. You can transform this darkness into light. It's what you can do. So try your best to do it, you know? Just enjoy your time that you have on this journey, right? It's not all about filling and busying our head up with people, friends, new relationships. It's great to see friends. It's great to have normal functioning relationships. It's great. But don't let that be your be-all, end-all. Don't feel like that's the only thing in life that's going to suffice you. Don't feel like that's the only thing in life that you need to be complete. I want you to feel complete while you stand alone. And then God will send your divine counterpart in your life. And that's what I truly believe. Because I'm still a work in progress. You're still a work in progress. Only God knows when the deal is done and we are complete. Right? Yes, we're going to keep learning every day, no matter what. To our last day on earth, we're going to keep learning. And even in the next realm, we're going to start learning more. But I'm trying to say that there's a point in time that we're going to be healed and ready to let someone into our lives who's worthy of our time, our admiration, our care, our compassion, our empathy, our authenticity, our truthfulness. They'll be ready to embrace that, right? That's what we need. We need someone who will value that, not devalue you. We need someone who builds you up, not tears you down. We need someone that sees the beauty in the detail of our character and doesn't just shun us and push us to the side. We need someone who knows how to love and doesn't just pretend to love because they don't have the functioning stuff in their mind to be able to love or have empathy, right? In their prefrontal cortex. We need someone, and we don't need, that's the wrong word I said there. We would like someone who is of a similitude to us with our empathy, our compassion, our love. And we don't need it, but God will bring that into our lives when the time is right. So we can't search and try and find, we can't just rush out there, and just bump into other narcissists, other toxic individuals. If we are thinking about dating and we are thinking about moving forward, then we need to be cold. And I don't mean cold like horrible and mean. I mean emotionless. We need to adopt that trait of emotionless. So when you're meeting someone or you're dating, you're looking through the discernment that God has blessed you with, and you're able to see, yo, this person is a funky, dusty weirdo. And if they're a funky, dusty weirdo, we kick them to the curb. And then if you want to pursue on, don't let it dishearten you. But as long as you haven't got intimately involved with them, you haven't rushed into stuff, right? To allow all these demonic soul ties, negative spirits to come about you, then you'll be okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with meeting someone and getting to know someone without being intimate. And that's how we're going to build a real relationship, if we want to do that. Don't rush into it. I know you might feel lonely. I know you might feel sad from time to time. I know the trauma bond makes you miss the narcissist. I know the feeling. I know how it is. But it doesn't excuse us to rush out there and rush into another toxic person that's only going to do the same negative stuff. And then we're going to be 5-10 years further down the line in our lives. Why don't we be patient, practice patience? Why don't we evolve on this spiritual journey? Sorry, I've gone off topic, but I hope you understand why I'm talking about it. Embrace the spiritual journey that we're on. Embrace the spiritual awakening and use our spiritual awakening to decipher future people in our lives. I mean, friends, families, jobs, relationships, whatever, so be it, whatever you want to call it. Anything that we encounter in our lives, anything and anything, we use our discernment. We only stay in touch with that which is radiating the same light as us, the same, that's got good energy. We stay away from the negative energy. We stay away from negative things, negative people, and we try our best to move forward on this journey and continue to spiritually evolve to the point of our peak, you know? And then once we've accomplished that, we would have accomplished 2 mountains, because as I said, dealing with a narcissist was a whole mountain. We started off at the bottom, and even at the good times of the relationship, we was at our bottom, we was at our lowest. I said this time and time again. We was at our lowest during that journey when we was with the narcissist, right? We thought we was at our best. We thought it was the love bomb. We thought it was great. It was all manipulation. It was all lies. It was all gaslighting. It was all messing with our heads. So we rose through that mountain, and at the time of discard, or the point when you kicked them away because they got so mean, we felt like we was at our lowest because we lost who we, inverted commas, who we loved. We was actually at our highest, and we accomplished that mountain. And since then, we've been descending down the mountain, heading towards another mountain that we're going to climb. And once we hit the peak of that, of our spiritual evolution, you know, we're going to look back on ourselves a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and we're going to say, you know what, I've come a long way, and I have spiritually evolved, and I'm thankful to God, and I'm grateful for this. It was a blessing in disguise, but we made it through. So anyway, just take your time, keep healing, practice self-love, and we're all going to get there in the end, I promise you. So anyway, I'll leave the video there. Please press the like and subscribe button. And if you would like to donate to the channel, you can find the details in the description box. And if you would like a one-to-one session, you can also find the details in the description box. Anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.